Hello, and welcome to the Salubrious Life. I am Felicia, your holistic wellness advisor, and I am so glad you are here today. Before we get into it, I want to take a moment to thank the amazing community over at WTFU Want TV for the love and support. If you have not found them yet, look them up, WTFU Want TV, and show them some love. Now, before we get started, I need to be upfront with you because that is just who I am. I am not a medical doctor, I am not a licensed physician, and nothing I share with you today is intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or replace the advice of your healthcare provider. I am Felicia, and I am a holistic wellness advisor. What that means is I have spent years studying the whole person: mind, body, spirit, and community. I look at lifestyle, organic nutrition, roots, and rhythms. I look at what grandmothers knew before the pharmaceutical companies got involved. So everything I share today is based on research, lived experience, and holistic wisdom, not a prescription pad. If you are managing hypertension or any chronic health condition, please keep working with your doctor. What I am offering is a holistic complement to your care, not a replacement for it. Now, with all of that said, let's talk about something that is quietly stealing lives in the Black community, and it has been for a very long time: high blood pressure, hypertension. They call it the silent killer, and it really is silent. You can feel completely fine, no headache, no dizziness, nothing at all, and your blood pressure is sitting at 160/100. African Americans are disproportionately affected by hypertension more than almost any other group in the world. Black men and women develop it younger, it hits harder, and it leads to more complications, more strokes, more heart disease, more kidney failure. These are not just statistics. These are fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, and grandparents. This is real life. So what is blood pressure exactly? It is the force of your blood pushing against the walls of your arteries. Every time your heart beats, it pumps blood out, and your arteries either handle that pressure or they strain under it. Normal is around 120/80. Elevated starts around 129/80. Stage 1 hypertension is 130 to 139/80 to 89. Stage 2 is 140 or higher over 90 or higher. And a hypertensive crisis, where emergency care is needed immediately, is over 180/120. Here is something most people do not know. Blood pressure is not the same all day. It naturally rises in the morning, dips in the afternoon, and should fall at night during sleep. That nighttime dip is when the body repairs itself, when the heart rests, when the vessels recover. If you are not getting quality sleep, that dip does not happen, and the body never truly gets to rest. Most people only find out where they stand when they go to the doctor, and many in the Black community do not go as often as they should. By the time hypertension is discovered, it may have already been quietly doing damage for years. That is what makes this so dangerous. It does not warn you. It just builds, silently. Know your numbers. That is where it starts. Now I need to stop here, because before we talk about food and exercise, I need to say something that I believe with every part of who I am. In my opinion, and I want to be clear, this is my opinion as a holistic wellness advisor. Systemic racism is one of the single biggest causes of hypertension in the African American community, and I believe it should be treated as a public health crisis, a medical emergency, right now, today. I am not talking about something abstract. I am talking about the daily lived experience of Black men and Black women in this country. The stress of being followed in a store. The stress of watching your son walk out the door and wondering if he will come home. The stress of working twice as hard and being paid less. the stress of sitting in a doctor's office and not being believed when you say you are in pain, the stress of carrying all of that every single day with a smile on your face because the world does not give you space to fall apart. That stress is not just emotional, it is biological. It lives in the body, it lives in the blood vessels, it lives in the heart. There is a term in public health called weathering. It describes how chronic exposure to racism and discrimination literally ages the Black body faster than it should. It wears down the cardiovascular system. It raises inflammation. It keeps the nervous system in a state of low-grade emergency all the time. And here is what makes me passionate about this. It is not talked about enough. I am an advocate, and I am looking in with love, with research, and with deep concern. And what I see is a community that is carrying a weight that the healthcare system is not acknowledging the way it should. In my opinion, until this country is willing to look racism directly in the face and call it what it is, a health crisis for Black people, this conversation will keep happening, and we will keep losing Black men and women far too soon. I refuse to stay quiet about that. The burden the Black community carries around hypertension is not new, and understanding where it comes from matters deeply. Research suggests that African Americans may have a genetic predisposition toward higher rates of sodium retention, meaning the body holds on to salt differently. One serious hypothesis links this to the transatlantic slave trade. Enslaved people who survived the Middle Passage may have done so partly because of physiology that helped them retain salt and fluid, since dehydration was a leading cause of death on those ships. And that biology, passed down through generations, may now be working against the Black community in an era of processed, non-organic food and high-sodium diets. That is history living in the body, and it deserves to be acknowledged. Then there is the issue of medical mistrust, and I want to say clearly that mistrust is earned. The Tuskegee syphilis study, where Black men were deliberately denied treatment for decades in the name of research, forced sterilizations, decades of Black patients being told their pain is not real, a lie with no scientific basis that still influences care today. The medical system in this country has a painful and well-documented history with Black people, and that history keeps many from seeking care until something has gone very wrong. There is also the issue of access. Many Black communities across this country still lack adequate healthcare facilities, affordable insurance, and salubrious food options. These are structural failures, not personal ones. By the time hypertension is caught, it may have been quietly building for years. The Black community deserves better. You deserve doctors who see you fully, believe you completely, and treat you with dignity. And until that is the standard everywhere, it is on all of us to advocate loudly and consistently for that change. Now let us talk about the things that can actually be changed. Because while the systemic factors are real, and they are very real, there are also lifestyle factors that you have power over, and that power is where holistic healing lives. Diet is a major driver. The American diet is loaded with sodium. A single fast food meal can exceed an entire day's recommended intake, and many of the foods that are most affordable in underserved communities, canned goods, processed meats, frozen meals, are the farthest thing from organic and the highest in sodium and lowest in nutrients. That is not personal failure. That is a food system that was not designed with the Black community in mind. But once you know it, you can begin to make different, more salubrious choices. Excess weight increases the workload on the heart. Every extra pound means more territory the heart must pump blood through. Physical inactivity weakens the cardiovascular system and contributes to weight gain. Smoking damages artery walls and causes blood pressure to spike with every cigarette, and the cumulative damage over time is significant. Heavy alcohol use raises pressure over time and interferes with the body's natural ability to regulate itself. Sleep deprivation is one people consistently underestimate. When you are not sleeping well, the heart never gets its rest. Night after night, that adds up. Dehydration is another factor that is often overlooked. When the body is not getting enough clean, pure water, the blood actually thickens, and the heart has to work harder to push it through. Hydration is directly connected to heart health, and chronic stress keeps the body flooded with cortisol and adrenaline, both of which raise blood pressure. When stress is constant, that elevation becomes the new normal. For many in the Black community, that is exactly what is happening, and it is not a character flaw. It is a survival response to a stressful world. Let me be straight with you about what is at stake, because sometimes we need to hear it plainly. No softening, just truth. Stroke. High blood pressure is the leading cause of stroke in this country. It can rupture or block blood vessels in the brain, taking speech, movement, independence, or life itself. African Americans have nearly twice the risk of stroke compared to white Americans, and hypertension is one of the biggest reasons why. Heart disease and heart attack. Hypertension forces the heart to work so hard that the muscle thickens and stiffens over time. It damages the arteries that feed the heart. It silently sets the stage for heart attack, sometimes for years before anything visible happens. Heart failure. When the heart is overworked for long enough, it eventually weakens to the point where it cannot pump blood effectively. This is called heart failure, and it is far more common in Black Americans than in any other group. Kidney damage. The kidneys filter your blood, and they need salubrious, functioning blood vessels to do it. Hypertension destroys those vessels over time. African Americans have significantly higher rates of end-stage kidney disease, and hypertension is a leading cause. Vision loss. Sustained high pressure damages the delicate blood vessels in the eyes and can cause permanent vision impairment or blindness. And cognitive decline. More and more research is connecting chronic hypertension to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. The brain requires consistent, clean blood flow to function. Damage the vessels, and you damage the mind. I say all of this not to frighten you. I say it because I genuinely care about this community. Your life is worth protecting. Your well-being is worth fighting for. And knowledge is the first step toward that fight. Now here is where I live. Here is where I believe healing truly begins. In the organic, whole, nourishing food we put into our bodies every single day. The holistic approach looks at the whole person: food, movement, sleep, stress, spirit, community, joy. All of it connected, all of it mattering. Because the body is not just a set of numbers. It is a living, breathing, extraordinary system that can restore itself when given what it truly needs. Let us talk food. This is not about deprivation. It is about abundance, adding more of what is organic, nourishing, and healing. The DASH diet, dietary approaches to stop hypertension, is built on whole, organic, real food. Fruits and vegetables, especially potassium-rich ones like sweet potatoes, bananas, avocados, leafy greens, and beets. Whole grains, lean proteins, nuts, and seeds, and significantly limiting sodium, processed foods, and added sugars. Beets contain nitrates the body converts into nitric oxide, which relaxes and widens blood vessels. Organic beet juice can lower blood pressure within hours. Collard greens and spinach are high in potassium, which directly counteracts sodium. Blueberries and strawberries contain anthocyanins that support salubrious blood pressure levels. Garlic contains allicin, shown in clinical studies to reduce blood pressure measurably. Wild-caught fatty fish like salmon and sardines are rich in omega-3s that reduce inflammation and support the heart. And a small square of organic dark chocolate, at least 70% cacao, contains flavonols that support blood vessel flexibility. And hibiscus tea. Multiple clinical trials confirm it has a meaningful, measurable effect on lowering blood pressure. 2 to 3 cups of organic, unsweetened hibiscus tea daily. It is tart, vibrant, and one of nature's most generous holistic gifts. Cut back on sodium. Season with herbs instead of salt. Turmeric, rosemary, garlic, lemon, cumin, ginger. All flavorful, all holistic, all healing. I want to spend a moment on something that does not get nearly enough attention in conversations about blood pressure, and that is water. Pure, clean, organic hydration. Most people are walking around in a state of chronic, mild dehydration and do not even know it. And here is why that matters for blood pressure. When the body is dehydrated, the blood becomes thicker and more concentrated. The heart has to work significantly harder to push that thickened blood through the vessels. Vessels may even narrow in response, trying to conserve fluid. Both of those responses raise blood pressure. The kidneys, which play a major role in regulating blood pressure, also depend on adequate hydration to do their job. When you are not drinking enough water, the kidneys signal the body to retain sodium and fluid to compensate. That retention raises pressure. The general holistic guidance is half your body weight in ounces per day of clean, filtered water. If you weigh 160 pounds, aim for 80 ounces, about 10 cups. Adjust for activity level, heat, and how your body responds. And let me be specific about clean, filtered water. Tap water in many communities, and this disproportionately affects Black and lower-income neighborhoods, can contain lead, chlorine, and other contaminants that are not salubrious for the cardiovascular system. If you can, invest in a quality water filter. A pitcher filter is a meaningful and affordable start. Organic herbal teas count toward your hydration. Hibiscus, chamomile, lemon balm, passion flower, all hydrating, all holistic, all with their own wellness benefits. Limit sodas, energy drinks, and sweetened beverages. They dehydrate more than they hydrate, and the sugar and artificial ingredients create inflammation that is the opposite of salubrious. Start your morning with a full glass of water before anything else. It is one of the simplest holistic habits you can build, and the impact on your blood pressure can be remarkable. The heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger when you use it consistently and intentionally. Consistent moderate exercise can lower systolic blood pressure by 5 to 8 points, and that is significant. The most salubrious movement is the kind you will actually do and enjoy. Walking, dancing, swimming, yoga, Zumba, cycling, whatever makes the body feel alive and joyful. 30 minutes most days is enough to make a real, measurable difference. Start with 10 minutes if that is where you are. The journey starts where you are, not where you think you should be. And do not underestimate strength training. 2 days a week of bodyweight exercises supports overall cardiovascular health powerfully. During quality sleep, blood pressure naturally dips by 10 to 20%. That dip is the body's reset. If you are not sleeping well, that reset does not happen. If you snore heavily or wake up exhausted, no matter how many hours you got, please ask your doctor about a sleep study. For a more salubrious sleep routine, consistent bedtime, dark and cool room, no screens for 30 minutes before bed, and organic chamomile or passion flower tea as part of your evening ritual. Magnesium glycinate, a naturally occurring mineral, supports deep, restorative sleep for most people. And stress. We cannot talk about holistic healing in the Black community without going deep on this. So much is carried. Generational trauma, daily pressure, financial stress, family responsibility, grief that never fully gets space to breathe. And there is a cultural expectation, especially for Black women, to carry it all quietly. But that weight lives in the body. It lives in the arteries. Deep breathing is free and always available. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale slowly for 6 to 8 counts. 5 minutes daily shifts the body out of stress response measurably. Meditation, prayer, journaling, time in nature, and therapy are not luxuries. They are holistic medicine. Organizations like Therapy for Black Girls and the Loveland Foundation can help you find culturally competent care. That is an act of deep self-love. I want to take a moment to honor something that gets lost in modern conversations about wellness: the profound, ancient, organic healing wisdom that exists within African and Caribbean traditions. Long before pharmaceutical companies, long before clinical trials, there were healers, root workers and herbalists and grandmothers who knew which plants to reach for, which teas to brew, which remedies to prepare. That knowledge was passed down through generations because it was powerful, and because the people who held it were powerful. Hibiscus, known as sorrel in the Caribbean, zobo in West Africa, has been used for generations to support heart health, reduce inflammation, and bring balance to the body. It was not a trend, it was tradition. And modern science has now confirmed what those grandmothers already knew. I want to take a moment to honor something that gets lost in modern conversations about wellness: the profound, ancient, organic healing wisdom that exists within African and Caribbean traditions. Long before pharmaceutical companies, long before clinical trials, there were healers, root workers and herbalists and grandmothers who knew which plants to reach for, which teas to brew, which remedies to prepare. That knowledge was passed down through generations because it was powerful, and because the people who held it were powerful. Hibiscus, known as sorrel in the Caribbean, zobo in West Africa, has been used for generations to support heart health, reduce inflammation, and bring balance to the body. It was not a trend, it was tradition. And modern science has now confirmed what those grandmothers already knew. Let me go deeper into the specific organic natural tools that have real clinical research behind them. And before I do, I want to say this clearly. Herbs are powerful. Every body is different. Some of these can interact with other things your body has going on. Please talk to your doctor before adding anything new to your holistic wellness routine, especially if you are managing a health condition. Hibiscus tea. 2 to 3 cups of organic, unsweetened hibiscus tea per day. Multiple clinical trials confirm its meaningful effect on blood pressure. Start there. Aged garlic extract has been studied extensively and shows consistent, meaningful reductions in blood pressure. An organic supplement is a good holistic alternative if raw garlic is not a daily habit. CoQ10, or coenzyme Q10, an antioxidant the body produces naturally, but production drops with age. Studies show CoQ10 supports salubrious blood pressure levels and healthy heart muscle function. Look for a high-quality organic form. Magnesium relaxes the walls of blood vessels. Most people do not get enough from food alone. Magnesium glycinate and magnesium malate are the most bioavailable and well-tolerated forms. Talk to your doctor about the right amount for you. Berberine, a compound found in organic plants like golden seal and barberry, is showing impressive cardiovascular benefits in research, including blood pressure reduction and better blood sugar regulation. One of the most exciting areas in holistic wellness science right now. Omega-3 fatty acids from wild-caught fish or a high-quality organic supplement reduce inflammation, support blood vessel elasticity, and benefit overall cardiovascular health meaningfully. Vitamin D. Many African Americans are deficient because melanin, which gives skin its beautiful depth of color, also reduces the skin's ability to synthesize it from sunlight. Low vitamin D is consistently linked to higher blood pressure. Ask your doctor to test your level. And ashwagandha, an adaptogenic herb that helps the body manage stress, lower cortisol, and calm the nervous system. Research supports its use for stress reduction and shows positive effects on blood pressure. combined with organic nutrition, movement, and quality sleep. These are powerful, holistic pieces of a truly salubrious life. I want to bring everything together and paint a picture of what a truly salubrious day actually looks like. You do not have to do all of this at once. Start with one thing, build from there. You wake up in the morning. Before you pick up your phone, before the news, before social media, before anyone else's energy enters your space, you take 5 slow, deep breaths. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6 to 8. You are telling your nervous system, today starts from a place of calm. Then you drink a full glass of clean, filtered water. Your body has been working all night. Hydrate it first. You have a warm cup of organic ginger and lemon with a little raw honey while your hibiscus tea steeps. You sit for a few minutes in quiet. Prayer, gratitude, intention, whatever that looks like for you. You are grounding before the day pulls you in every direction. Breakfast is organic, oatmeal with blueberries and flaxseed, or eggs with spinach and fresh garlic, or a smoothie with beet, banana, and leafy greens. You are building your body from the inside out. If you have holistic supplements as part of your routine, CoQ10, magnesium, omega-3s, vitamin D, you take them with your meal. You move your body, a 30-minute walk, a dance class, yoga in your living room. You move because it strengthens your heart, lowers your blood pressure, and shifts your mood in ways that nothing else can replicate. Lunch is whole and organic. A large salad with leafy greens, avocado, wild-caught salmon, and a lemon olive oil dressing. Or lentil soup, or brown rice with roasted vegetables. Food that loves you back. Midday, you drink more water. You take a few deep breaths. If the day has gotten stressful, you step outside for even 5 minutes. Sunlight, fresh air, nature, salubrious medicine. Dinner is early and light. More vegetables, more whole foods, a cup of chamomile or passion flower tea as the evening comes in. Phone away before bed, room dark and cool. A few minutes of deep breathing or quiet meditation, and then rest. Because sleep is when everything repairs, resets, and restores itself. That is a salubrious day. Not perfect, not rigid, but intentional. And intention, practiced consistently, is where transformation lives. Before I let you go, let me leave you with something concrete. Things you can start this week on your journey to a more salubrious life. 1. Get your blood pressure checked. Many pharmacies have free blood pressure machines. Know your numbers. You cannot manage what you do not measure. 2. Cut 1 high-sodium, non-organic food from your diet this week. Read the label on something you eat regularly. You might be surprised what you find. 3. Move for 20 minutes today. Walk, dance, stretch. Put on a song that makes you feel alive and move to it. Just start. 4. Brew a cup of organic hibiscus tea tonight. While it steeps, take 5 slow, deep breaths. 5. Drink more water tomorrow than you did today. Clean, filtered, pure water. Your heart will thank you. 6. Share this video with someone you love who needs to hear it, because in this community, people save each other. That is a beautiful and powerful thing. I am Felicia Ordnek, your holistic wellness advisor and host of the Salubrious Life. I am not a medical doctor. I do not hold an MD or any clinical license. Nothing I share today is medical advice. It is holistic education meant to inform you, inspire you, and empower you to take better, more organic care of yourself and to ask better questions. Please keep working with your healthcare provider. Always talk to your doctor before making changes to your wellness routine, and never delay seeking care when something feels wrong. What I am offering is a bigger picture, a deeper, holistic conversation, a reminder that your body is wise, that nature is generous, and that you absolutely deserve to live a truly salubrious life. A very special thank you to WTFU Want TV for the support and for giving this message a home. If you are not already part of that community, go find them and show them some love. And to you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for spending this time with me today. If this video spoke to you, please give it a like. It helps more people find this message who need it. Subscribe to the Salubrious Life so you never miss an episode. And drop your questions and thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and I would love to hear from you. I am Felicia Ordenek, your holistic wellness advisor. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace and wellness.